Hi guys, this is Maria and Manos and you're watching On the Couch with M&M.
The show to help you build fun and profitable businesses. Hi guys, and welcome back to On the Couch with M&M. Today we have special guests and actually the inspiration for us starting On the Couch with M&M, Tanja Jones from TMJ Coaching. Thank you for joining us.
So good to have you, babe.
Thank
Always
you.
good to have you on the couch.
I was saying, great idea, but an idea without implementation is just an idea. So hats off to you guys, over 70 episodes. Consistency is key.
It's been so much fun for us as well.
A lot of fun. It's been huge.
Yeah.
And wherever I go with you and there's other people, they're always going, I love your show.
Yeah.
I watch it On the Couch with M&M. Do you get surprised
We
by
do.
how many people
So
tune in?
surprised. Eric was we're going to our room in front of the elevator and we got the same comment. The guy was from New Zealand.
Wow.
So we just thought, wow,
International
that's good.
show.
It's good. It's good. Yeah, there you go. So it's so good to have you again.
Thank you for inspiring us to actually do
likewise.
it. So it's been awesome.
Yeah,
Love
thank you.
Great.
So today we're here to go on.
Yes. Today we're going to be not about ourselves. We're going to be talking about a conference that Tanja attended last week called Perspective.
Yeah.
It's a conference that we didn't get to go there, but we've got someone who was in the front row seat to talk about what an amazing 2 days and all the feedback is saying that it was absolutely amazing. So can you talk about who put it on?
And all the learnings as well.
Yeah. So thanks for the opportunity to share it because I think I learned so much. So that I was actually fortunate to be in the front seat. I like prime real estate, be close to the source. So there was myself and another 450 principals from around Australia and New Zealand. So Perspectives 2018 was a program or a conference, 2-day conference produced by Macquarie. Yes. And the whole intention was to look at what does the future real estate agency look like. So we know change is the only constant. We know disruption is the new black. It's the hot topic. But what does that actually mean for a principal running their business today? And what do we need to be prepared for to be relevant for the future and tomorrow?
Yeah.
So the title Perspectives 2018 was about sharing the different perspectives of internal operators, so people in the industry and outside of the industry, and then amazing thought leaders globally who Macquarie flew in to really just share what do we do to remain relevant as an industry that is facing a lot of disruption. So that was the intention. It was held at the International Convention Centre in Sydney. Not only was it a beautifully produced event, they spent a fortune on it. And it's my first lesson. So I've got a stack of lessons that I just took being a student.
We've been so looking forward to this interview, Tanja.
Well, I'm grateful for the chance because it was an amazing 2 days, but if we can leverage the lessons and you guys are providing a platform for those that didn't get to make it, because it was Macquarie's first time they did it. They've never done it before. And, but hats off to them. It was an extraordinary event. Before I talk about the event, so it was beautifully produced, so we felt like we were really valued. Macquarie, to put it into perspective, have been a bank that has had unbroken profit for 49 years. So pretty amazing business benchmark to be running a business, be one of the best in the world and have profit growth for 49 years consistently. Yeah. They look after about 3,000 agents here in Australia. Their second customer was a real estate agent. And we know from the research from CoreLogic RP Data and the great work Kylie Davis has done that what matters to the real estate consumer is trust and transparency. The first thing I loved was the head of business banking, Dean Firth, actually said to everyone in the conference space, look, guys, we have a lot of money invested in you and your business.
They have. Yeah.
We want you to win. Mm. And I just thought, I love that. Yeah. I love that there's no us and them. They're not trying to be smoke and mirrors and put on this conference to be... They're just like, we're investing a lot in you and we want you to win. We actually want you to win. It's why we do what we do. And when you walk into their head office in Sydney, they've got this massive banner which is we empower people to live a life they love, which is so you guys, right? So in alignment with you.
Yeah.
And so I love the transparency of the brand because I'm fortunate that they're a partner of mine for Inspiring Greatness for our 2-day leadership conference. So other than working with some of their team, I didn't really know much about Macquarie, but I got a real insight into who they are and what they stand for in our industry.
Yeah.
So I love their transparency. And the reason they put on this program was the principals were asking, tell us about the future of real estate.
What does it look like?
What does it look like and what can we expect?
Yeah.
So they curated some of the best operators internally, as I said, and then some key players externally who have really mastered innovation and navigated the ways of disruption. So
I'm looking forward to hearing this.
So yeah.
What are the learnings?
There'll be a lot of
first of all, you're
top
making me
lessons.
feel guilty that I didn't attend. Like, we're
No one can make you feel good.
No,
That's right.
exactly. Yeah,
We'll go to
you
the
would have
next
loved to have been.
I would have
Plus-
loved to have been
That's
there.
right.
Yeah.
And now we get to hear it all from Tange.
That's
Anyway,
right.
all the best bits.
All the best bits. So there were key themes: purpose, leadership, innovation, how to thrive.
Yeah.
So some of the top insights. Dean Firth, who I said was the head of business banking, this is one of the biggest lessons that we need to be prepared for. They are predicting that there will be a 25% drop in sales and property management.
Okay.
So that's what we can expect.
In
really,
2018,
this
19
year,
financial
this
year.
year and
Next 12
beyond.
months.
And next 12
And
months
beyond.
and beyond. So that's the fact. That's what the market is showing. That's what we can expect. And a lot of the content was reverse engineered to make sure we as an industry and individual operators and franchisors are prepared for that. So I'll share a lot of the content that really meets. So that's what's coming. So expect, based on a lot of the research that's been done, we can expect 25% decline in revenue in sales and property management. So how can we be prepared for that? So we need to be aware, and how can we be prepared for that? Well, one of the first speakers was Grenville Turner, who was the CEO from Countrywide UK, one of the biggest real estate companies on the planet, and particularly in the UK. I think when he left, it was over $1 billion, worth. And he mastered, I love the sound of seagulls. We're at Frankston with
Yes.
the sound of seagulls.
Close to the beach.
Exactly. He mastered the biggest lesson that we need to adopt to ride the wave of change that's coming. And it's all about building an ecosystem for the client and ensuring that we are offering adjacent value. Yeah. So one of the biggest takeouts was, are we as industry service providers really mapping out the client journey from the moment they think about buying or selling their house to the moment they do and everything they need after that? From the moment the landlord decides they want to rent their home out or a tenant decides they want to rent, what is all the steps that they take in that process? And so the businesses that are succeeding are the ones that become a one-stop shop.
You have to provide more value. Yeah.
And so that means, and he would do things, their company would do things like, well, if you wanted to buy a home, they wouldn't even start looking for you unless you had your finance pre-approved. Yeah. Now, it's not new.
No.
But how many businesses actually build it in as their client experience and part of their business model, and how much revenue is available to be gained? And it's not just about revenue, it's about service.
Added service.
Like, who's got the time? Who can be bothered doing all those things? We're in the process of moving house ourselves. We've got to get all the utilities sorted and all of that. So no one's offered us, let's do it for you. And we probably would take it on if it was there.
Yeah.
So that is the number one way,
is
to personalize the service you're already offering and make sure that you are thinking about the client journey from go to woe and beyond, above and beyond just listing and selling real estate or leasing and renting a property.
So it's true. It's exactly where we need to be as a business. We have to look after our clients from day one to the final destination. It's not about just selling a house anymore. It is the main thing, and getting a really good price for that vendor or buyer, but it's the destination. So you want to move from here to there. What can we do from actually looking into the area for maybe if their kids are going to preschool, or, you know, giving them information about what the area can provide in regards to their needs, to the connections, to the finance, to everything else that's adjacent space.
I think we need to look at it as project management.
It
100%.
is.
It's a project management of helping people move to their next destination. And there's all these moving parts. And instead of us allowing them to go out the source it themselves, taking control of that on their behalf and providing that added value. So we are relevant.
Well, the reason why disruption is happening, and you'll probably be gobsmacked to see how much money is being invested in prop tech. So if you're wondering, when disruption is the new black. It's the word that's thrown around everywhere. And my humble opinion is we need to be aware of it. We need to be educated, and we need to be prepared. However, I don't think we need to use it as an excuse why we're not performing, because there are fundamental things we could be doing in our business to increase our revenue and reduce our expenses to be more profitable that disruption won't even touch. But I do see too many businesses and business owners talking about everything that's happening externally, competitors, the market, prop tech.
But not doing anything about it.
But not even measuring their listing conversion rate of their agents, not even measuring the effectiveness and skill level of their existing assets. So I just think we got to be careful of not looking outside our own business to the detriment of the simple, basic, fundamental things that we need to do. It's a good balance of both.
That's right.
So that was a clear message. So I think you'll be blown away to find out how much money is actually being invested in prop tech, meaning apps and tools and digital resources to make it very easy for the consumer to make different choices.
Because it's what we're looking for.
It is what we're looking for.
In every industry. And we've said it before, we're not competing with each other anymore. We're competing with the big brands that made everything. I mean, McDonald's was the first one to do it. Drive through in 2 minutes, you've got your meal and off you go. It's not the best tasting meal and the most healthy meal, but it's quick and it's convenient and it's affordable. So they did it first, and then other industries have, followed.
The expectation is there for instant, e.g. Uber. Uber's a classic example. If an Uber is 10 minutes late, we're jumping up and down.
And we're going, maybe I'll choose another one. It's just amazing how impatient as a customer we have become. So
as Matt Church says, instant coffee just isn't instant
enough.
That's a good one. It's a sign of the times. So Dean Firth, the head of Macquarie Business Banking, one of his quotes was, "The future of real estate is change, and we need to disrupt ourselves." So if we look at building solid ecosystems and providing adjacent services to become a real one-stop shop for our consumers, really the meaning behind that madness is, if you were to write down all the action points that a consumer takes, whether they're selling, buying, leasing, or renting a home, how many actions do they have to take, and how can we minimize that to as minimal amount of touch points as possible, and make those touch points personalized, memorable, and really efficient and effective, where we take care of it for them. A, it provides that service first. B, it's going to provide additional revenue opportunities for us as business owners
100%.
to collaborate with other service providers that really provide that service when we're time poor or running families or whatever that is.
So obviously you've got finance and connections, which we talked about, and we do.
Yeah, so
with
we
our
have
business.
Tango Home Loans.
Was there anything else that they
Well, of course, cleaning.
mentioned?
Getting the garden, getting the home
yeah.
cleaned, getting some renovations done, and then having some solid advice on, are you overcapitalizing in getting your home ready? Are you really going to get a return on investment? Is it worth doing something in the laundry when the key points are, the garden, the kitchen, and other areas like the bathroom? So many consumers still don't know what they don't know, and this is where really solid, trusted advisors will come in and be transparent and say, okay, so we know you want to get the best price for your greatest asset, and we also know you want to get out of here as soon as possible, and you have a small budget to be able to invest to, get the best price possible. So we can project manage that. Here are our, solid service providers. They're reputable, but you don't have time. You're going to be busy doing everything else. So everything from getting the finance ready, getting the house ready, getting the garden ready, packing, cleaning, moving, the utilities. And then what else is possible? Do they have pets? Do they have are the cars going to get trashed after the whole packing and you can't see through the rear vision mirror? Do we do car cleaning after you move in? What about, getting food delivered to their house when they move in and pizzas on the day they move in? Like,
we do that.
There are so
some of
many
our
things.
agents do that.
What was that tech company that was actually supplying shoes? I think it was online.
Zappos?
Zappos. That's it.
Zappos.
Zappos. And their service
Amazing
levels
business.
actually went to that level where one client actually was on the phone. They said, our keys, I've locked myself out of my home. So the Zappos consultant on the other end goes, let me organise someone to get a locksmith to open up your door.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with
shoes. But it's the client experience.
Yeah.
A little off track, but on that topic, a while ago, I think we were down in Lawn, and so my family, Lincoln and my two daughters, Kaya and Amber, and we were just walking around and we were busting for the loo, and we walked into a cafe, right? And I walk in and I said, excuse me, where are the bathrooms? And here's the question, are you a customer? And I'm thinking to myself,
I could have been, but
well, at what
maybe
point
not now.
do you determine?
Yes.
Am I a customer when I've sat down and ordered my coffee and my muffin and I've paid, meaning I'm transactional, and am I then a customer? Or am I a customer the moment I look at your sign and I contemplate coming in?
Yeah.
And so, and there's that whole law of reciprocity. So if I go
100%.
in and use the bathroom, I will naturally feel obliged to kind of get a takeaway coffee or something on the way out, because I'm like... But to be asked, are you a customer? I was a bit gobsmacked. It's like, well, potentially. I don't know. What does that look like? So
is that what you said?
No. I actually said yes, because that was my intention anyway. But so many businesses still, and I think retail and real estate is still seen by the consumer as highly transactional.
Yes,
and we can be very narrow-minded when we're self-orientated, and we need to rise above the foam and actually go deep with the client and look at. It's one of the most stressful times of your life.
Yeah, it can be.
Think about the reasons why people are selling. And it doesn't have to be with a conscious agency and agent who really partners that transition and covers all of those bases. So the future in real estate is change, and we need to disrupt ourselves and stop doing things that we are doing automatically and build those solid ecosystems and have adjacent products to create that one-stop shop. That was the fundamental lesson. And then make sure it's really personalized. So it's not just the cookie cutter approach for all. Sure, have your CRM system and your back-end tools and resources to automate and build efficiencies, but make sure the interface is, I know Maria and Manos well, I know who I'm speaking to and what they love and what they're up to.
Yeah.
So that was a key takeout. And then obviously Grenville Turner, who I talked about before, who was the previous CEO of Countrywide UK, said that he really grew that business with that philosophy. That's how they became so successful and so profitable and had so much market share, because they just took away all those action steps and pain points.
Yeah.
And they really also, the thing that I got from him was it just felt like they really knew their value proposition. So they had a real competitive advantage. So this philosophy gives those of you that are listening, it's going to take some work to set up. You guys do this well. I mean, you've got many of your agents doing even the takeaway menus, where local businesses invest in takeaway menus for agents to provide to their local community. It's a simple little thing, but on a Friday night when I've come home from work and I can't be bothered cooking, I've got the Eview takeaway menu. And I can just, dial some numbers.
And you support one of our offices patches.
And
you support local businesses as well.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and then, you support them and they support you. And it goes back to that ecosystem.
Yeah.
Interesting. We've heard Chris Halder, who talks about the power of useful beliefs. Grenfell Turner, one of his key quotes was, "This is the most exciting time to be in real estate because we can do anything." So one of the key learnings was, if we are fearful of disruption, if we hear this, there's likely to be a 25% drop in sales and property management, be prepared and go, oh my God, and be victims acting like we don't have the power to influence it, we won't have innovative thinking and disrupt ourselves. We need to think through the client experience and come up with innovative ways to be of service. So, and that's a useful belief, that now is the most powerful time, an exciting time to be in this industry if you're willing to be innovative. So that was his key.
And if you come from a space of always being of service, you will get to that immediately. You would get to that naturally anyway, wouldn't you?
Oh, most definitely.
We've been like that all of our lives. I think with business, it's always about our clients and how can we help them. And when there's changes in business, you just think, well, how can I make it so it works better for our clients? Which is, our clients are our agents, and then our people, and then obviously the end client, which is, our vendors and our buyers and our landlords and tenants. So the next speaker, who was the speaker, like the headline act, Mark Randolph, who was the founder and original CEO of Netflix. Oh yeah.
Everyone, when I asked people, who were you most keen to hear, everyone was saying Mark. He shared how he went from a startup to like an internet empire. And what I loved about him, he was grounded, very humble, an absolute entrepreneur. You guys would have loved him. And a couple of key quotes from him which really struck a chord. I love this. Don't fall in love with your idea, fall in love with the problem.
Ooh. Oh, I love it.
I knew you would love it. I thought of you straight away.
It's contrarian. It's contrarian thinking, because from the challenges and from problems is where you get your most sliding door moments.
Exactly.
Sliding door moments. Every time I've looked at a sliding door moment, has always been, there's an obstacle, there's been a challenge, there's been a curveball. I'm thinking, okay, what's the lesson in that? And find that sliding door moment where you can go left or right. You can either be victim or you can be the looking out from a positive light. Yeah.
Well, he shared beautiful stories about he and his business partner, Reed Hastings, who he used to work with, would drive in a combi van from San Jose to San Francisco every single morning, and all they did in the drive was come up with ideas. And they came up with 1,000 ideas. And his whole philosophy of don't fall in love with your idea, fall in love with the problem, was what had him, like this other quote here, I have complete comfort with making a business fool of myself. Try and test things over and over and over again. Be an ideas factory. So he never was like, that's an amazing idea, and then, kind of tested it and fell in love with the idea and got attached to the idea if it didn't really solve a problem for the consumer, if it didn't really add a benefit. So he was able to let it go and pivot and morph and twist. Those people that get addicted and attached to their ideas are more interested in about the egoic experience of look at me and how clever I am, but it may actually not even be relevant to the consumer. So he shared the whole story about how they came up with the idea and how they presented it to Blockbuster, and Blockbuster knocked it back, and he went, right, that's just fuel in his tank to go. If you can't beat him, join him. If you can't, join him, beat him, which they did. And, he shared like the first online transaction. He shared all the challenges they had from hiring DVDs and renting DVDs and how it worked to the huge success. I think is 125 million subscribers currently to Netflix and growing fast.
And how old's the company?
I can't remember.
No.
But so he talks about be prepared to be knocked back. 125 million subscribers globally. The power of confidence and ideas, but don't fall in love with the idea. Fall in love with the problem that you're solving. And I think if we do that, we remain extremely relevant to the consumer. But then they get new problems.
Of course.
So when we build an ecosystem and when we find these adjacent services to provide, then they're going to have new problems. So we've got to remain innovative and entrepreneurial to find out, well, how else can we add value?
Yeah. Because you can never stay still in business, can you? You always have to be. It's
you got to be moving.
It's not such a thing as being still. It's either moving forward or
you're
doing different things,
or you're going backwards.
Yeah, that's right.
So then after that, there was a break, and then we had a panel, and on the panel was Meena Radhadish Krishnan. Meena, I'm sorry if I didn't pronounce that properly. She's the CEO of Different. So Different is a property management business that has a flat rate of $100 to manage your property. She was the 20th employee for Uber. And the reason she started this business was she was looking for a home here in Australia with her own family and experienced for her it was a convoluted experience to try and look at properties and the value and how do you determine who is your property manager. So she decided to disrupt the property services market by providing a flat fee and then automating a lot of the back end to take away the pain points for both the property manager and the consumer.
That's interesting. So it's $100 per month.
$100 per month, flat fee, property management fee, and there's a whole lot of other value that they add, so worth checking out. And her key quote was, let people what they do best and let technology do the rest.
Yeah.
So I think this is definitely what the Eview Group model is too. Like, you have a whole business model. It's like, let your people rise and shine, let them do the relational stuff and automate the systems so you can be freed up to go and be of service to more people. So again, the key with this is you would expect a level of arrogance with the level of success that many of these people have had.
Yeah, you find
far from it. Yeah. So humble, so grounded, so service orientated, which I loved. Then there was Mike McCarthy, the CEO of Barry Plant. He talked about maintaining relevance with the customer. So there were lots of themes about we have to be consumer orientated and reverse engineer our content accordingly. Here we go. Interesting fact. I said before, you may be surprised if you're wondering about disruption in the property space. What does that actually look like? Well, Chris Rolls, who's the managing director for PiLab, said the amount of money that is being invested in prop tech is, drumroll please, that's a one-handed drum roll, $7.6 billion. Ouch.
Unbelievable.
It's coming.
Yeah.
So we need to act swiftly. And this is one of the reasons why I really, A, loved coming in, having a chat with you on the couch, but B, thought, well, who cares what I have to say? Let's share what the key leaders are saying about what's to be expected because it's coming. So let's be prepared.
Yeah.
Not fearful, prepared.
This is the time for us to be more personable than any other time. This is the time when there's that much money being spent on technology, and that's going to help us. But then we've got to do our bit, which is be more connected with our clients. And,
and jump on the technology. As Meena said, let people do what they do best and let technology do the rest. Yeah, but don't be afraid of it. Use it as an ally. So 7.6 billion is being invested in prop tech. So if you're questioning, and I mean there were so many logos put on this massive screen about what's already exist and what's coming. I can't remember all of them, but 7.6 billion worth. It's one of the biggest growth industries on the planet. Marta Higuera, who's also the co-CEO and co-founder of Open Agent. She talked about how, and this is not new either, but talked about how the first place that people go now when searching for their agent of agency or of choice is online. So if trust and transparency is what people want, where do they go to find out? Are they going to go to your website to hear you chest beating, or are they going to go to independent sites to get solid comparisons and other people's ratings of their service level? So more and more, and I think Steve Carroll talks about 72% of consumers are researching their agent online.
100%. Your digital footprint is more important now than ever. But we don't have to play in other people's turf either. You can be everywhere, But I think it's really important for us to be really visible on,
our own
on our own platforms.
Yeah, and utilize the platforms.
100%.
They're fully, like
100%,
so.
yeah.
I mean, there's people don't even have a cover page on their LinkedIn profile, or their Rate My Agent contents. Your awards aren't listed on there, or your realestate.com.au profile is not.
Good exercise for everyone. Just go on Google and Google your name and see what comes up first, and then you'll be surprised. Like if you Google your name, don't put anything around it, real estate or anything like that, and just see what comes up first. That's a good exercise for everyone.
It is a great exercise to do. And you can also set a Google alert. So Google,
every time someone Googles your name.
So set Google alerts for also real estate in your area and also for you. And another interesting side note, success leaves clues. So recently Real Estate Business released their top 100 real estate agents.
Yes.
The top 10 all had many things in common, yet one of them on this topic that was in common is they all had close to 100% fulfillment of their digital platforms, particularly their realestate.com.au platform profile was typically at around 100%. So let's not reinvent the wheel. Let's replicate what some of the top
people
agents
100%.
do. Okay, great. So then there was also on the panel Matt LaHood, CEO of the agency. His quote was, "We have turned the traditional model upside down." You guys, I also believe, do this extremely well. You believe that your clients are your agents first. They're the people that do business with you. Always have from the get-go. Be in business for yourself, but not by yourself.
Exactly right. Yeah.
So there was good to see that there's more people thinking that way. So it was pretty much day one.
What an amazing! I think we have to do another episode for day two.
Let's do that.
I think we should.
Amazing. Yeah.
So what do you, as business owners, what do you guys hear from all
opportunity?
Of that?
Yeah.
Opportunity. As you know, there's a couple of things that we're looking at in our space at the moment. So whenever I see these changes, I think it's applying the digital and the opportunity that digital provides to business owners and how they can excel in the service levels they can provide their agents, because there's no way. So we've just spoken about all these things becoming a project manager of the sales process.
Yeah.
There's absolutely no way a single
One
agent on their own can do it. Impossible.
They don't have time
to build everything. So building that ecosystem is an absolute priority for every single business owner of an agency. But then if you look at it from that point of view, as a business owner, you're wearing so many hats. It's almost next to impossible to do it on your own as well.
Yeah.
So you need to go to the next level. So you need to build a support team around you and outsource as much of that stuff as possible and align yourself. There's no longer the success. You're not going to win in isolation anymore. You've got to be part of a team and a bigger team. And you can create that team. And whether it's joining a larger organisation or starting yourself and finding those people that are going to actually build that ecosystem. And I think someone has said it. Someone's been trying to find the holy grail of real estate, and that is to build a one system that fits everything. And that's impossible. It's not existent. You've got to build a platform that you can plug and play into obviously adapt
and
all
utilize
those and
utilize all the good systems that are available.
I would also say to that, Manos, that's the beauty of groups like yourself, because you have buying power because you're a national brand. So when it comes to building ecosystems or setting up adjacent offers that are kind of set and forget but provide tools for your agents or BDMs to add value to the client experience, they can't necessarily negotiate that level of value on their own as a sole operator or working for an independent.
It's a lot to organise.
It takes time.
It takes time. It's a lot to organise it. It's the economy of scale that we can provide.
It's that knowledge bank of actually, we're so busy listing and selling, we're so busy managing people in our business, there isn't time to, it's a challenge. And I won't say there isn't time because there's choice management and time management, and we all know it's all about choice management, but there's only so much an individual. No one has Netflix didn't become $1 billion company because it was just the single operator. Countrywide did not go to $1 billion company because it was a single operator. It was a single operator who had the initial idea, and then they built the team and the resources around them. So that's
Definitely can't do it on your own. And even down to the agent level this year, ARIC, the main theme was teams.
Yeah,
EBUs. So even if you take it from, away from the business owners and go down to the individual level, that's, now more than ever, there's a need for that team around you as an individual agent to be able to provide all those services to your clients.
Yeah.
No, excellent.
Awesome having you.
Thanks.
So much more to talk about.
Day 2 in the next episode, I think.
To be continued.
To be continued. So
we
guys,
will be back.
Yes, thank you for joining us this week, and episode 2 on this topic next week.
Thanks,
Cheers, guys. Thank you.